Guys, welcome back to Southern Extreme TV. We've got an awesome video for you guys today. We're going to be taking a look at the brand hammer new DNT Zulus V2. So as always, thank you so much for hanging out with me on my channel. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm really excited to be talking about another DNT optic. I'm a huge fan of the DNT offerings, especially on the thermal side as well as their night vision side. If you've kept up with the channel and you've been watching some of these nighttime optic reviews, you've seen me do the review of the original Zulus. And this was done several months ago, and I was blown away, number one, with the clarity, number two, with the size and the simplicity of the actual unit that you get, all for a very, very affordable price range. So I was really excited when DNT reached out and said that they've got a V2 model that was coming out and that they've got some improvements from the V1 into this V2. So really excited to be doing this unboxing for you guys today. So real quick, we're going to do an unboxing, show you everything that you get inside the box, and then we'll do kind of an introduction about what all the differences are between the original V1 and what you are now getting with the V2. So let's go ahead and dive into this. You get some instruction manuals right here, which is kind of typical. We've got some foam padding there, another instruction manual there. This brown box has the mounting device for your gun. So this is a pick rail adapter. You get an eye cup. So for those of you that are fans of the eye cup where your actual face or eye is up against this optic, you do get that. I'm not necessarily a big fan of that, so I'm not going to be using it. And then here is the optic. Now we're going to set this box over to the side. Now also included with this, which was not shown in this package, you are going to get 2 batteries and a charging device. Now the one thing that is an upgrade while we're talking about it in comparison from the V1 model is going to be the battery. So the original V1 model, you did get 2 of the 18650 batteries. With the new V2 model, you're going to get 2 of the 21700s. So a little bit larger, a little bit bigger, and better battery life per unit. Even though the 18650s were really, really nice and you got a lot of runtime out of them, the 21700s, I've had a little bit of experience with them, and personally I really like these batteries better than the 18650s. So really excited that you do get 2 of those with this unit. Now one of them is obviously already in this V2, the other one's in this box here for the video purpose. So we're going to set that right there, but let's look at the sweat dripping off of me. It is about 95 degrees and I'm trying my best to bring you guys videos, but this time of year is absolutely horrid for trying to film for y'all. But let's talk about the actual unit itself. So right off the bat, one thing that I noticed that is different from the V1 is going to be the zoom lever. Now on the original V1, you had a little bitty dial that went to the right or went to the left, and when I say little, it was very, very little. They have upgraded this zoom feature to a very simple throw lever. If you guys have done any research on maybe the IRA RH50R, which is one of the units, the main thermal unit that I'm running for our video production, it's got a very similar throw lever as well. So I was really excited to see that implemented into this optic. So that's just kind of the first initial impression. You still get that initial very small compact feel, and actually I've got the original V1 right here beside me so I can show you guys exactly how similar in size these 2 units are. Now one thing that I am going to show you guys, I'm going to read through some of the specs. So I've got the V2 here on the left side, I've got the V1 over here on this right hand side. So you can see that the size is very, very similar, and they're very lightweight, again in comparison to a lot of the daytime and nighttime optics and offerings that are out there. It is a really nice compact unit. So the V1, lay it right here on the right. The V2, we're going to lay it right here on the left. Now I want to read through, because again I'm not great at memorizing all of the specifications between each one, so I want to go through briefly and just read some of the comparisons between the 2. So with the V1, you get a sensor resolution of a 1920 by 1080. You get the exact same thing with the V2. The refresh rates on both of them are 60 Hertz, so there's not an upgrade in the refresh rate. However, the refresh rate on the V1 was very, very nice. That was one of the things that I mentioned on the V1 model in the original review video of it, is how fast the refresh rate was, and you could tell that as you were panning back and forth. So I'm glad to see that they kept that same refresh rate on the V2 model. They both have the magnification on both of them are 5x20, so 5x is your base mag, and they go up to 20. The eye relief for the V1 was 1.8 inches with a 45mm objective lens. The V2 model has a 2.7 inch eye relief with a 65mm objective lens. So the V2, you're getting a better eye relief, you're getting a bigger objective lens. Everything just is better about that. If you are somebody who has went from running a smaller objective lens to a larger objective lens, you can tell that there is a major difference in the one with the larger objective lens and the better eye relief. Especially for those of you that do not like running these eye cups, having that better eye relief is going to be really nice, because it allows you to shoot potentially a higher caliber rifle without having to worry about your face being so super close to the optic. So that's a really big upgrade from the V1 to the V2. Display specifications, micro OLED, frame rate 60 Hertz, which we've already talked about that. The battery, so again, the original V1 come on the 18650 flat top battery. The new V2 is coming on the 21700 flat top. And I know I was talking about operating time. What you're going to get in addition with that battery upgrade is you're going to get about 4 extra hours of runtime with the V2 over the V1, because each of them come with 2 separate batteries, and with each battery you're getting about 2 hours of runtime greater over the 18650. So in total, with just those 2 batteries of that upgrade, you're getting about 4 hours additional of runtime, which is a really big deal. Let's see if there's anything else in here. With the V1, you had 32 gigabyte micro SD card. With the V2, you get the 32 gigabyte built-in memory card. Now that's kind of a take it or leave it. A lot of people don't like having to deal with the micro SD cards, and I would say that 98 to 95% of the market out there would probably agree, and they like having that built-in memory. For me, I liked having the micro SD card because it was very simple for me doing a whole lot of video editing to be able to swap those micro SD cards in and out on the fly, especially if I'm going hunting from situation to situation or from day to day. It's very easy for me to just swap out that micro SD card, put a brand new one in it, and then take that micro SD card, put it in my computer, get all the film off of it and the photos, and keep on going. However, I'm a rarity because the majority of people are not going to be producing content to the extent that what we're doing on our channel. So I understand the allure and the positivity of going to that built-in 32 gigabyte memory. The waterproof rating on both of them are both IP67s. The max LRF, because again, both of these are laser rangefinders. So that's the other thing that was really cool about the V1 and the V2, is they've got built-in LRFs, and they also have built-in IR lights. You're getting on both of them, looks like 1100 yards of reading on both of those LRF systems. So definitely can range things a lot farther on these units than what you're probably going to be capable of shooting off of a tripod or off of a bipod. So let's go into just some general improvements. They've got a list here. Larger and brighter display. The Zulus V2 is equipped with a 0.49 inch 300 nit screen, upgrading from the 0.39. So the screen is going to be better. The extended eye relief, which I mentioned earlier, is going to be better. The enhanced battery life is going to be better because you're going to that 21,700 over the 18,650. Intuitive zoom control, faster Wi-Fi connectivity, which I'm going to be testing that out here pretty soon whenever I start downloading the actual footage from this stuff to make this video. And the QD mount comes with the DNT. It says it comes with the DNT quick detach mount for secure and efficient attachment removal. Let's actually take a look at that and see, because I've not actually opened this mount. So this mount goes to the V2 and see exactly what it is. So they're calling this a QD mount. It's not necessarily a quick detach mount because you've got 3 of the star Allen keys. So this is the exact same type mount that came with the V1 model. So nothing really changed there. I don't know if that's something that they're thinking about doing in the future, is maybe adding a QD mount, but that's the exact same mount that the V1 came with. So to me, the biggest upgrades are going to be the size of the display screen, but then the zoom capability is going to be the biggest thing for me that I think is going to be worth the extra money to get the V2 model over the V1. Obviously the battery life is a very big selling point as well. However, the 18650s, you just buy a couple extra batteries if you needed that extra runtime, and it's not that big of a deal. But the bigger display screen and the zoom lever here versus the little wheel on the V1 model is a massive upgrade. So I'm really glad to see that these guys did that and improved that. So I'm gonna set this V1 over here to the side, and let's do an initial impression of turning this thing on and actually looking through it at the clarity side, if I can keep the sweat from rolling off my face onto this optic. And let's see exactly. So again, just the super clear clarity that I seen on the original V1. You're getting that exact same clarity with the V2, and the screen, you can definitely tell that it's larger than the V1, which makes that eye relief so much better. That's an awesome upgrade. And then I want to test out this zoom real quick. So that zoom is super fast, it's super smooth all the way in and then all the way back out. And the nice thing is with the picture-in-picture, because again, for those of you that don't know, you do get the picture-in-picture feature with the V1 as well as the V2. And having that PIP picture, you're able to zoom, and it zooms in all the way through the zoom cycle. So not only does your main reticle zoom all the way in, but also your PIP is zooming in all the way as well. So that's going to be a very nice thing for you guys that really like to zoom in and then zoom out. For me, I'm definitely one of those guys. If you've watched any of our videos, Guffey is not big on zooming. He likes to have a big wide field of view when he's taking a shot, whereas me, I like to be zoomed in almost as far as I possibly can without the image downgrading too crazy much. You guys are going to really like that. Now, one thing that is really neat about the V2 model is the ability to switch from the daytime mode to the nighttime mode, and it's a very simple click of a button. You've got a button on the left hand side. All you do is you click it and mash it down, and you'll see the scope. If you guys are familiar with the thermal optic, when you nook it, it kind of flashes. The exact same thing happens here. It'll flash over and it'll go into that black and white mode where your IR light is on, and you're not in the digital daytime mode anymore. Then what you're able to do is over here on the side, you've got your IR 850 NM light, and on the front of it you have a dial zoom, and basically what that does is it will expand that beam of that IR light, or it will narrow it down. Typically what you want is when you're initially putting or hunting on a spot, you want that beam to be kind of wide, and the reason for that is it just helps comb the area a lot better so that you can pick up eyes coming into the set. And then once you pick up that animal and you get those eyes, then you reach up there and you can narrow that beam down, and you can really concentrate that IR light to where you can take a lot farther shots, and the clarity on that individual area is going to be a lot better. Now obviously you want to find that happy medium between the IR beam being super wide and being too narrow to where when you shoot, you don't necessarily want to have to reach up there and readjust that IR beam to take a follow-up or potentially a running shot. You want it to still be wide enough to where you can still stay on target and still see what you're trying to shoot. So really good job of having that very simple button to comb through those features. That's a really big deal, especially for some of you guys that like to do some of those last-minute daytime hunts or first thing in the morning hunts. It allows you to go out there, start your hunt either early in the morning before daylight, then transition over into the daytime mode, or vice versa. Start out in the daytime mode and then transition over into the nighttime mode as well. The other thing that I really found neat with this optic is the color change in your reticles. So many times I will be hunting a situation where maybe I'm in a field that's up a little bit higher in elevation, where maybe the humidity is not quite as bad, and then we may drop off down into a situation where maybe we're down in a river bottom where the humidity is extremely bad. And what that does is it will change the image quality of this optic, and sometimes being able to comb through the different reticle colors is a very big deal. So being able to change from yellow, red, black, white, whatever it may be, not only from a scanning perspective but also from when it's time to take your shot, being able to go from a yellow reticle to a black reticle to a white reticle, red, green, and then all the way back to yellow with a very simple click of a button. That's a very big deal because it allows you to change that reticle on the fly, whereas a lot of optics out there on the market, they're going to require you to go through a very deep menu setting list to find that reticle color change, and a lot of times it's too much of a hassle, especially in the heat of the moment, to try to go through there and make that change when you're in the actual field. So kudos to the ability and the simplicity of the button layout. I'm going to say this time and time again, to me, the DNT optics are some of the most simple night vision optics to use. And to be honest with you, the V2 with this upgraded zoom lever, with the built-in IR and the built-in LRF, this just knocked the wheels off of the V1. And to me, this is the best budget-friendly night vision / daytime digital optic that is on the dang market. Everything is super simple. Your LRF is a very simple click of a button. Now you can go into the menu settings, and what you can do is you can set it to where your LRF will range continuously. You can set it to where it will continuously range for say 30 seconds, 15 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 seconds, or you can have it where it's set on just a very single click interval. So whenever you mash the button, it'll come up with its own separate reticle, and you put that reticle on what you want the LRF to tell you the range of. You mash it again and it'll range one time and give you that yardage reading. The majority of people that I know will put it in that mode, or they'll put it in like a 10 or 15 second mode. And what is good about the 10 or 15 or 30 second mode is if you have an animal that's in a slow trot or is slowly coming, and let's say you pick him up at 400 or 500 yards, you can put it on that 30 to 45 second mode to where when you're following that animal, you're constantly getting that live feeding of what the yardage is on that animal. Because a lot of times, let's say that the wind changes, and let's say that coyote smells you out there at 400 yards, and maybe he was at 500, and now you've got a split-second decision to be able to make that shot. You don't want to have to reach back up there and start fumbling with that LRF button to know exactly how far he is. If you're tracking him in, you're getting that live updated yardage as that animal is moving, and as soon as he stops, you can look up there, know that he's at 400, know what your holdover is, get on that animal and take the shot. So really awesome job of thinking through everything with this optic, in my opinion. If you guys are in the market looking for a night vision and daytime scope that will absolutely do it all, you've got the built-in IR light, you've got the built-in LRF, you've got a very easy zoom throw lever, you've got a big display screen, and you've got an HD display screen with some high capacity batteries as well. you guys have got to give the V2 Zulus a check out, because I think you guys are going to be really, really impressed. If there's anything that I did not go over in today's video, drop a comment down below. I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. I know I did not go over price or pricing on this unit, and that's because I don't know what the price point, the MSRP on this unit is going to be at the time of this video. This optic has not currently been released to the public yet, so I don't have a current MSRP price to tell you guys. I do know that the Zulus V1 is currently on sale for around $300 or $400, which is still a very, very good buy. So I'm assuming that the V2 is probably going to be priced very competitively to what the original V1 was going to be priced when it first came out, probably within $100 of that. And that's just solely me guessing. So if that's not accurate at all, don't hold me to that. I'll try to update some information on this once the V2 actually drops and I know what the MSRP price is on it. So if you guys are looking for this optic, you can go over to DNT's website direct, or you can go over to Southern Precision Outdoors as well. They are an awesome sponsor for the channel, and they help us out with all of our thermal and night vision needs. So you can also purchase direct through DNT, or you can go to Southern Precision Outdoors as well to pick up the brand new Zulus 5x20 V2. You guys are going to be super impressed with this unit, because I am blown away at all the features and what I believe the price point is going to be. So thanks for hanging out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's going to be an awesome couple of videos coming out here in the future, and make sure that you guys are tuned in so that you don't miss anything. Thanks for hanging out. I'll see you guys on the next episode.